Sheriff's Department.
I'm calling from the Surf Motel. I'm the manager.
Okay.
Somebody called me on my motel phone and said they heard a gunshot at the motel.
The officers, they open the door and the victim is right there.
She had a gunshot wound to the face.
Not a lot of cases that we deal with are this calculated.
She was just murdered in cold blood.
Just before midnight on March 19th, 2017, Sacramento Sheriff's Department responded to a 911 call about a gunshot at the Surf Motel.
We're still getting further. Callers stating they heard a 923, but then another male came in and said his girlfriend was shot. The shots came from a white Mitsubishi.
We get the call out, and typically what we'll do is we'll show up and we'll have a briefing with the responding patrol deputies. As patrol showed up, they know it's room 32. Patrol made entry into the room with a room key and found our victim had been shot.
Upon our arrival, there's crime scene tape blocking off the parking lot. There was myself and 3 other detectives. We would meet and discuss what we saw initially that we need to cover or discuss with patrol. The door was open when we arrived.
The door lock was intact. It looked like the person who was there deceased possibly was not immediately violent. Like there was not a lot of destruction in the room suggesting that there was a struggle or a fight or any kind of physical confrontation. The victim actually had her ID on her.
The victim was discovered to be Leonora Montoya.
People would mix her up with Leonora, but her name was Leonora, and yeah, she went by Leo. Before she was born, her father passed away in an accident, and so her mother named her after her father, Leo.
She was loud, obnoxious, right? Very confident. She was funny. She's definitely funny. I probably get a lot of my humor from her. She was at like a point in her life where she was doing great or doing better than before, but there was some slippage in that.
She wasn't a bad person. She had a little bit of criminal history. Generally speaking, though, she wasn't a career criminal.
She was somewhat unknown to us. We had name and very little information aside from that.
We knew that the victim showed up in her car with 3 other individuals. We knew that she parked right in front of room 32.
4 people go in. They all go in voluntarily.
Shortly thereafter, and I'm talking within minutes, you see the muzzle flash.
And you see 3 people leave. A male and a female get into the victim's car and drive off.
You see a female get out of the room and run off out of the motel parking lot towards the freeway. Being that she didn't leave in the victim's car, we were hopeful that she was going to be a witness to what occurred. There was the male friend of the victim who had gotten a call from that female witness that left. So we had a name, and it was just a matter of tracking her down.
She was very distraught. She gave us a pretty good explanation what happened. The more we learned, it looked more and more like a setup. Her and her friend, who's Leonora, arrive at the motel to get tattoos. While they were there, a man and a woman who she also knows walk into the room, and instead of selling them tattoo services, the male shoots the female. They take the victim's phone and the witness phone. Additionally, the witness gave the male and the female suspect the money that she brought with her to pay for the tattoo. The male suspect and the female suspect get into the victim's vehicle, drive off, and they let the witness go. That was very consistent with the evidence that we had at that time.
After getting the witness's account of events, police speak to Leonora's boyfriend for further information.
He had told us that Leonora was meeting some friends and provided us with their names, James Baca, as well as Rebecca Teme. And James Baca was going to give Leonora a tattoo, as he was able to give tattoos.
My mom had a romantic relationship with her, I knew that. I don't know how they met. My mom introduced me to her one day and I kind of brushed her off, and my mom was upset that I brushed her off, and I said, I don't like her, Mom. Like, you shouldn't be hanging out with her. And I remember my mom getting upset about that.
Baca is a career criminal. He's a disgusting human being. He's a coward. He'd been in and out of prison for violent felonies. A guy like that is dangerous. And Rebecca, same thing, in and out of jail her whole life.
We work with our Major Crimes Bureau, and they were working the angle of getting cell phone data for the suspects that would give us their location. Their cell phones were pinging in the Bay Area.
They were driving, and the chase was on. During the pursuit, they throw out the victim's phone, they throw the gun.
At the termination of that pursuit, both Teme and Baca fled on foot. Officers got out of their cars, chased after them, and were able to put both of them in cuffs.
Take a seat, please.
So, what was going on in the Bay Area? I mean, seriously, like, what was going on with that? You have any idea at all?
No, can I have my lawyer?
Sure, you'd like a lawyer? Is that what you want?
Yeah, I want to go to myself. That's what I want.
Okay. What I've learned through the years is that people are either going to talk to you or they're not. She lawyered up, and we knew that that was it. We knew Baca was also a prison guy. The likelihood he was going to talk was very minimal, but you know, you got to try.
How are you, James? How you doing, man? Sounds like you had a exciting evening.
What are we talking about?
Well, I'll explain to you.
Okay, I'd like a lawyer, please.
Okay?
He's just like, I ain't talking. The reality set in for him when we came back in. We're like, hey, we're taking your clothes, because he was wearing the same clothes that he was wearing when the homicide occurred. That's gonna have evidence on it. Close range, shot like that, you could get blowback from the blood coming from the victim. Gunshot residue, you're gonna test the clothing for that.
Sure, all right, sure, James. Yeah, please. Take your clothes.
And he stood up and he put his back to the wall, fists up, and we knew that the fight was gonna be on.
You know another fight?
That's what it is, sir.
Lay down on the ground. Lay down on the ground. I'll be honest with you, he did not hesitate. Lay down on the ground, flat. I was a little surprised because he straight up brought up his fist, lowered himself down, said, let's go. And as soon as he saw the taser, he got deflated.
While preparing for trial, investigators get a clearer picture of what happened that night between Leonora and Rebecca.
They were dating at the time. It was rumored to us that they had met in prison, and when Leonora got out of prison before Rebecca did, and Rebecca met up with her after that outside of prison. During that time, there must have been some type of falling out. Rebecca's new boyfriend wanted to exact some revenge.
Trial was very tough. I went to every day of the trial except for when they showed evidence of the crime scene and autopsy photos. I just didn't want to remember my mom in that light. Every day in the trial, they just sat there, showed no remorse at all.
In these two, I didn't see any of it. No remorse, no concern. It was like a big joke for them.
They were both convicted of murder and robbery. She was sentenced to 25 to life, and James Baca was sentenced 50 to life. So they are eligible for parole after serving a sentence of either 25 years or 50 years. That sentence will carry on through life if they are not paroled.
Hopefully society will never see them again.
She was the most charismatic, strong, caring woman. Like, my mom didn't have much, but my mom was the type of woman that if she saw you had less, she would give. She wanted you to do better than what she did. And she rooted for you.
You hear her and like my sisters laugh. that's a great way to keep her alive. So as long as I keep my sister laughing, I always hear my mom.